Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christy with Van On Company. It's Friday, December 9th. I'm going to go over the markets with you for the day. We had a USDA crop report here. Typically, December does not offer a lot of news out of this report. They wait until January to really make some big changes. The January report is when they have to finalize production, so that's kind of why they just skip over December, to be honest. And really, that's what they did this time. There were no changes to both corn, wheat, and soybean domestic numbers. So carryout levels are the exact same as last month. They made slight changes into the world numbers. All of the world numbers actually increased just a little bit due to the thought of higher yields really throughout the world, as growing conditions have really been excellent for majority of the areas there. So some high numbers in both domestic and world carryout numbers. The market sold off briefly after the report was able to come back just slightly. Corn closing up about 3 to 4 cents. It actually peaked about 6 cents higher right before the close. Beans up 10.5. Wheat market mix there actually coming up to about 8 to 9 cents higher in Chicago wheat. On the week, you had actually corn closing up 15 cents. So a good week for corn. Bean market kind of starting to slow its pace down after it's had some big ones lately. It closed up 10 cents on the week. Chicago wheat actually up 12.75 cents. Interesting enough, Minneapolis wheat down 7 cents on the week. So this is what you've seen for about a month in a row now on the weekly side of things, is that it seems like there's just spreading going on between the wheat markets, as when Chicago closes up steady or higher, you have Minneapolis closing lower on the week. Same situation with Kansas City being up 5.5 cents on the week there. So moving forward, we're going to have to watch this demand, how it pops up. We've had some sales announcements every morning here pretty much this whole entire week, and we didn't have them about a week and a half ago. So that's something to keep in mind. It does look like exports about 3 to 4% above pace that we typically are at for both corn and soybeans. Interesting enough, USDA actually discussed this in the release of their crop report. They did say, although you are running above average pace for these export numbers, that they do expect that to really even itself out and level off come early this year into spring, with South America having a good crop. So you know, that's kind of a sign that maybe they won't even adjust the export numbers moving forward. They'll wait until they see how South America's crop really pans itself off. But they did acknowledge it and really said that they didn't seem for it to be really an issue moving forward, unless you get a crop report or a crop failure out of South America or some issues there, like we did last year. You know, we lost a lot of crop out of the safrinha crop last year, and that's really what started to grow the export side of things. So we are close to pace, and they don't expect to really adjust that too much moving forward. Over into the meat markets, live cattle up 50 cents on the week, feeders up $1.35 on the week, and lean hogs probably the biggest movers of the entire week, being up almost $6 on the week. So really some support coming through there on the demand side of things. Cattle market seems to just really be trading both sides every day this week, but was able to squeak by a little bit higher on the week as that goes. Outside markets, big movers once again to the top side. Both crude and the US dollar and the Dow all drastically higher today. That really is pushing the US dollar up there almost at 102. And as far as the stock market goes, well over 100 points higher on the day, as you really just cannot get a setback since this election. And we've really been able to move, you know, in some big strides over the last about month here, moving since the election. Besides that, really watching the weather in South America as far as those grains go. You do look like you have some dryness in Argentina. They are 50% planted or close to for both corn and soybeans, and so really the dryness isn't much of a factor right now, but if it continues, that's when it will really be an issue. But for now, people are welcoming it, as they really have a lot left to plant. I do have to close with a disclaimer. Trading in futures and options involves risk of loss and may not be suitable for all producers. Have a great weekend.